The SS Honour Dagger of 1936 was introduced as a ceremonial weapon for members of the Schutzstaffel, representing loyalty, rank, and commitment to Hitler and the Nazi ideology. Unlike standard daggers, it was awarded to recognize service and devotion, making it a prestigious symbol within the SS hierarchy. Its design featured a black wooden grip inlaid with silver SS runes, capped with a polished pommel, while the crossguard carried subtle eagle motifs intertwined with the swastika. The double-edged steel blade, polished and mirror-finished, often bore the chilling motto, Meine Ehre heißt Treue. My honor is loyalty, emphasizing obedience and ideological fidelity. Its scabbard, lacquered black with nickel fittings and suspension rings, allowed ceremonial wear during parades and official events. Measuring roughly 14.5 inches overall with an 8.5-inch blade, it balanced presence with wearability. Symbolically, it reinforced the SS's elite status and its members' unflinching loyalty. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly collectible, offering a stark reminder of the regime's paramilitary culture and the ceremonial prestige used to cement allegiance in Nazi Germany. The NSKK Marine Dagger of 1936 was introduced as a ceremonial sidearm for members of the Nationalsozialistisches Kraftfahrkorps who served in naval or maritime-related roles, reflecting the Nazi Motor Corps' expanding presence across transportation and paramilitary duties. Its purpose was largely symbolic, denoting rank, authority, and loyalty rather than being intended for combat. The design featured a white or ivory-colored grip, often twisted with silver wire, capped with a pommel engraved with the NSKK cogwheel and swastika emblem, while the crossguard carried nautical-inspired motifs such as anchors or waves. The polished double-edged steel blade, approximately 10 inches long, emphasized ceremonial elegance and the organization's disciplined ethos. Its scabbard, black lacquered with silver fittings and suspension rings, allowed officers to wear it neatly with full-dress uniforms. Measuring around 15 inches overall, it balanced visual impact with practicality. Symbolically, it reinforced the NSKK's role as both a technical and ideological force within Nazi Germany. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly collectible, standing as artifacts of the regime's paramilitary culture and ceremonial militarization. The Red Cross Hewer of 1938 was introduced as a ceremonial weapon for senior officials of the Deutsches Rotes Kreuz, which had been fully aligned with the Nazi regime and incorporated into its paramilitary structure. Its purpose was symbolic, representing rank, authority, and loyalty rather than practical use. The design featured a black or dark wooden grip with the Red Cross emblem inset, capped with a polished pommel, while the crossguard displayed subtle, decorative motifs reflecting humanitarian service under Nazi oversight. The single-edged steel blade, polished and approximately 12 inches long, emphasized ceremonial elegance rather than combat utility. Its scabbard, black lacquered with silver fittings and suspension rings, allowed it to be worn with full-dress uniforms. Measuring around 16 inches overall, it balanced visual presence with manageability. Symbolically, it illustrated how Nazi Germany extended its ideological control into humanitarian organizations, merging ceremonial prestige with political loyalty. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly collectible, serving as reminders of the regime's pervasive influence over all sectors of German society, including institutions traditionally seen as neutral. The SA Chained Honour Dagger of 1938 was introduced as a prestigious upgrade to the earlier standard SA Dagger, reserved for higher-ranking members of the Sturmabteilung, Hitler's original paramilitary force. Unlike the common 1933 SA model, this version carried both symbolic weight and elite status, marking loyalty to the Nazi cause. Its design kept the classic brown wooden grip inlaid with the SA emblem and an eagle clutching a swastika, but the real distinction lay in its scabbard and chain. The scabbard was anodized or painted brown, often with nickel fittings, suspended by a chain decorated with raised swastikas and linked runes, symbolizing strength and unity. The blade retained the iconic motto, Alles für Deutschland, all for Germany, etched into polished steel, projecting devotion and discipline. Measuring about 14 inches overall with a blade length near 8.5 inches, it was compact yet striking. Symbolically, it embodied the SA's historical role in the Nazi rise to power while emphasizing exclusivity. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly collectible, serving as stark reminders of the organization's once feared presence in Hitler's Germany. The SA Presentation Dagger of 1938 was a ceremonial weapon designed for high-ranking Sturmabteilung members and honored guests, serving as both a symbol of loyalty and a prestigious award within Hitler's paramilitary ranks. Introduced toward the end of the 1930s, it distinguished itself from standard SA daggers by its superior craftsmanship and elaborate presentation quality features. The design included a rich brown wooden grip, often polished and inlaid with a silver SA emblem, while the pommel and crossguard bore gilded or nickel-plated details with the Nazi eagle and swastika. Its blade, finely polished steel etched with the motto Alles für Deutschland, all for Germany, emphasized ceremonial elegance rather than combat utility. The scabbard, lacquered in dark brown with ornate fittings, sometimes featured a decorative chain for parade wear. Measuring roughly 14.5 inches overall with an 8.5-inch blade, it balanced visual impact and portability. Symbolically, it reinforced the SA's role as both a political and paramilitary force under the Nazi regime, while presentation models served as personal rewards, making surviving examples rare and highly sought-after collector's pieces today. The SA Feldherrenhalle Dagger of 1937 was created as an exclusive ceremonial weapon for elite members of the Sturmabteilung, particularly those in units associated with Munich's historic Feldherrenhalle, symbolizing loyalty to the Nazi Party and its paramilitary hierarchy. Introduced in 1937, it served primarily as a status symbol rather than a combat tool, awarded to officers who had demonstrated long service or distinction. Its design featured a polished brown wooden grip embossed with the SA emblem, accented by a nickel-plated pommel and crossguard adorned with the Nazi eagle and swastika. The blade, approximately 8.5 inches long, bore the iconic motto Alles für Deutschland, etched in elegant lettering on mirror-polished steel. Its scabbard was lacquered brown with nickel fittings and a suspension chain, emphasizing ceremonial display. Measuring around 14.5 inches overall, it balanced elegance with prestige. Symbolically, it represented the SA's elite traditions and reinforced the organization's connection to Nazi ideology. Today, surviving Feldherrenhalle daggers are rare, highly collectible, and evoke both the ceremonial pomp and dark political history of Hitler's Germany. The SS Chained Dagger of 1936 was introduced as a prestigious sidearm for elite members of the Schutzstaffel, marking a higher level of loyalty and seniority within Hitler's paramilitary organization. Unlike standard SS daggers, the chained version featured an ornamental chain attached to the scabbard, signifying status and exclusivity among the Reich's most trusted enforcers. Its design included a black wooden grip inlaid with the silver SS runes, topped with a pommel displaying the eagle and swastika, while the crossguard mirrored the same sinister motifs. The blade, double-edged and finely polished, bore the chilling motto Meine Ehre heißt Treue, My honor is loyalty, etched in precise lettering, emphasizing obedience to the Führer. The scabbard, black lacquered with nickel fittings, hung from the decorative chain during parades or ceremonial occasions. Measuring about 14.5 inches overall with an 8.5-inch blade, it projected authority and intimidation. Symbolically, it reinforced the SS's elite status and ruthless discipline. Today, surviving examples are rare collector's pieces, reflecting both the ceremonial elegance and the ideological fervor of Hitler's Germany. The NSKK High Leader Dagger of 1938 was introduced as an exclusive ceremonial weapon for senior officers of the Nationalsozialistisches Kraftfahrkorps, the Nazi motor corps responsible for training drivers and supporting motorized operations. Its purpose was primarily symbolic, denoting rank, authority, and loyalty within the paramilitary organization rather than serving as a combat weapon. The dagger featured a white or ivory-colored grip, often twisted with silver wire, capped with a pommel bearing the NSKK's cogwheel and swastika emblem, while the crossguard displayed stylized wings reflecting speed and mechanized efficiency. The double-edged blade, mirror-polished and plain, emphasized ceremonial elegance over practical use. Its scabbard, typically black lacquered with silver fittings and 2 suspension rings, allowed the dagger to hang neatly with full-dress uniforms. Measuring approximately 15 inches overall with a 10-inch blade, it combined presence and portability. Symbolically, it reinforced the NSKK's role in Nazi Germany as both a technical and ideological force. Today, surviving examples remain rare and highly sought after, representing the intertwining of ceremonial prestige and the regime's paramilitary culture. The RAD Officer Dagger of 1937 was introduced as a ceremonial sidearm for leaders of the Reichsarbeitsdienst, the Nazi labor service responsible for public works, agriculture, and later supporting the Wehrmacht. Its primary purpose was symbolic, representing authority, rank, and loyalty rather than combat utility. The dagger featured a white or ivory-colored grip, capped with a pommel displaying the RAD spade and swastika emblem, while the crossguard echoed geometric motifs of order and discipline. The blade, polished steel etched with the motto Arbeit adelt, work ennobles, emphasized ceremonial elegance and ideological significance. Its scabbard, typically black with silver fittings and suspension rings, allowed officers to wear it with full uniform during parades and official duties. Measuring around 15 inches overall with a 10-inch blade, it balanced portability and visual impact. Symbolically, it reinforced the RAD's dual role in Nazi Germany as both a labor organization and a paramilitary institution. Today, surviving examples are rare, collectible artifacts that reflect the ceremonial prestige and ideological indoctrination embedded in Hitler's Germany. The HJ knife of 1933 was introduced as a standard issue for members of the Hitler Youth, the Nazi Party's paramilitary youth organization designed to indoctrinate boys into loyalty and military readiness. Its purpose was both practical and symbolic, a utility blade for camping, drills, and outdoor activities, while simultaneously reinforcing commitment to Nazi ideology. The design featured a simple black wooden or celluloid grip with the HJ diamond insignia inset, capped with a plain steel pommel and crossguard. The single-edged blade, typically polished steel and around 5.5 inches long, was unmarked or etched with the motto Blut und Ehre, blood and honor, on later versions, emphasizing ideological devotion. Its scabbard was black painted metal with a leather throat and suspension ring, enabling wear with the youth uniform. Measuring approximately 10 inches overall, it was lightweight and functional for adolescent use. Symbolically, the knife represented the regime's focus on early militarization and loyalty cultivation. Today, surviving examples are highly collectible, serving as reminders of the Hitler Youth's role in shaping Nazi Germany's next generation. The HJ Gold Leader Dagger of 1937 was introduced as a prestigious ceremonial weapon for senior leaders of the Hitler Youth, the Nazi Party's paramilitary youth organization responsible for indoctrinating boys into loyalty and future military service. Its purpose was primarily symbolic, marking rank, authority, and dedication to Nazi ideology rather than serving as a combat weapon. The design featured a white or ivory-colored grip, often adorned with twisted silver wire, capped with a pommel bearing the HJ diamond emblem, while the crossguard carried gilded accents emphasizing elite status. The double-edged steel blade, polished and occasionally etched with the motto Blut und Ehre, blood and honor, highlighted ceremonial elegance and ideological symbolism. Its scabbard, typically black lacquered with gold fittings and suspension rings, allowed the dagger to be worn neatly with full-dress uniforms. Measuring around 15 inches overall with a 10-inch blade, it balanced visual impact and practicality. Symbolically, it reinforced the Hitler Youth's hierarchical structure and the regime's emphasis on indoctrination, making surviving examples rare and highly collectible artifacts of Nazi Germany. The NSFK Flyer's Knife of 1937 was introduced as a ceremonial and practical blade for members of the Nationalsozialistisches Fliegerkorps, the Nazi paramilitary flying corps responsible for training pilots and promoting aviation among youth and adults. Its purpose was dual, a functional tool for flight-related activities and a symbol of status, loyalty, and technical skill within the NSFK. The design featured a dark wooden grip with the NSFK eagle and swastika emblem inset, capped with a polished pommel and a simple crossguard reflecting the organization's streamlined, aviation-inspired aesthetic. The single-edged steel blade, approximately 7 inches long, was polished and sometimes etched with the NSFK motto or decorative lines, emphasizing pride and craftsmanship. Its scabbard was black-painted metal with a leather throat and suspension rings, suitable for wear with uniforms. Measuring about 12 inches overall, it was lightweight, practical, and visually striking. Symbolically, the knife represented Nazi Germany's fascination with aviation, technical advancement, and loyalty cultivation. Today, surviving examples are rare, valued by collectors, and serve as reminders of the regime's paramilitary and indoctrination programs. The Government Officials Dagger of 1939 was introduced as a ceremonial sidearm for civil servants and officials within Nazi Germany, symbolizing authority, loyalty, and rank within the state apparatus. Its purpose was purely decorative, worn with full-dress uniforms during official functions rather than for combat. The design featured a white or ivory-colored grip with smooth contours capped by a pommel bearing a stylized eagle clutching a swastika, while the crossguard mirrored this motif in a simple, elegant style. The double-edged steel blade, polished and plain without mottos, emphasized formality and bureaucratic prestige. Its scabbard, typically black lacquered with silver fittings, was designed for neat suspension from dress uniform belts. Measuring around 15 inches overall with a blade length near 10 inches, it projected authority while remaining lightweight. Symbolically, it reinforced the hierarchical structure of the Nazi state, merging traditional civil service prestige with the regime's ideological imagery. Today, surviving examples are rare, prized by collectors, and serve as reminders of how Nazi Germany extended ceremonial militarization even into civilian governance. The Red Cross Officials Dagger of 1938 was introduced as a ceremonial weapon for leaders of the Deutsches Rotes Kreuz, Germany's Red Cross, which had been brought under Nazi control and aligned with the regime's paramilitary structure. Its purpose was symbolic, marking authority, rank, and loyalty to the Nazi state rather than serving as a combat weapon. The design featured a black checkered grip, capped with a rounded pommel and a crossguard, subtly echoing the Red Cross emblem. The polished steel blade, typically plain without a motto, emphasized ceremonial elegance over practicality. Its scabbard, black lacquered with silver fittings and a suspension ring, allowed it to be worn with official uniforms during parades and formal events. Measuring approximately 15 inches overall with a 10-inch blade, it balanced visual impact and wearability. Symbolically, it reflected the Nazi regime's control over humanitarian institutions, showcasing how even the Red Cross was incorporated into state propaganda. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly collectible, serving as artifacts of the regime's attempt to merge ceremonial prestige with ideological loyalty in every sector of German society. The TeNo Officer's Dagger of 1938 was introduced as a ceremonial sidearm for leaders of the Technische Nothilfe, a Nazi paramilitary organization tasked with technical emergency services, infrastructure protection, and later, wartime support. Its purpose was largely symbolic, representing rank, authority, and loyalty within the TeNo rather than serving as a combat weapon. The design featured a white or ivory-colored grip, often twisted with silver wire, capped by a pommel engraved with the TeNo cogwheel and swastika emblem, while the crossguard displayed stylized geometric motifs reflecting technical precision. The polished double-edged steel blade, around 10 inches long, emphasized ceremonial elegance and ideological symbolism. Its scabbard, typically black lacquered with silver fittings and suspension rings, allowed officers to wear it neatly with full dress uniforms. Measuring approximately 15 inches overall, it balanced presence with practicality. Symbolically, it reinforced the organization's dual role as a technical corps and a loyal paramilitary force under the Nazi regime. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly collectible, reflecting both ceremonial prestige and the Third Reich's obsession with hierarchy and ideological loyalty. Don't just admire history, explore it. Hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which Nazi dagger fascinated you the most.